Today on Tech Theory, we are going to be answering the question of, are folding phones the future? The answer is more complex than you might think, so I'll get right into it. So folding phones. We've seen a few come out in all ranges, from the Royole FlexPi to the Motorola Razr to the king of smartphones at the moment, the Samsung Galaxy Fold. All have been priced super high, but you get a massive benefit. Not performance, but a nice party trick that impresses all your friends. You give companies a lot of money and they make you look cool. I guess I've just exposed Gucci's business model, but hey, it was funny, wasn't it? The question is, will we look back in a few years from now and say, this is what started with this alternate form factor, or say, that was a complete waste of time? I'm going to break it all down and give my guess here. I'm not a fortune teller, but I think I have a pretty good idea about how things are going to unfold. So one question I ask myself when I see a product like this is, what benefits does it give? When I ask this about this product, there are a few answers to that question. Of course, past the party trick, that is. The fact is, the average consumer will not care if a phone folds if everything else has a compromise. You will have to have more than the fact that it is cool. That's why advancements in tech are so large. We live in a world where tech companies are constantly competing for consumers' attention and, of course, money. So they're constantly trying to provide us with the next big thing. So I spent a few minutes thinking about it, and I have a few answers for you now. If you said that having two screens instead of one didn't help you doing more things at once on a phone, then you would be an idiot. As humanity does more and more on their phones, being restricted to doing one thing at once becomes a bottleneck. Though software solutions have come in and tried to help, it's clear that the only way to really do this is on a hardware level. On a standard smartphone, you might be able to flip between two tasks at once if you're lucky. The screen is so small that you have to pick between doing multiple things and compromising your focus on the content, or having to switch between apps. But with the Galaxy Fold, you basically have two full-size smartphone screens. If you really push your phone, you could multitask between 4 apps at once before you would feel the squeeze of multitasking on a normal phone. So for example, if you wanted to watch a YouTube video, browse social media, Google pictures of cats on skateboards, and looking through your meme collection all at once, you theoretically could. Meanwhile, on a regular phone, you could only watch a YouTube video and browse your memes, and that's all you could fit. The fact is, having multiple displays benefits multitasking a lot too. Not just for phones, but also for a PC. Being able to have more screen real estate, it's free real estate, makes your productivity rise. My friend actually did this and their productivity went nuts. It's not just that friend either. So this is a massive benefit of having a folding phone. Another thought on why I think dual screen phones will in fact succeed is that they are less boring. Or let me rephrase that, there's something new. Since the iPhone released in early 2007, we have literally been seeing the same screen-on-a-box design. 14 years of the same design. Yes, we have seen some small changes, like reduced bezel sizes, but the same core has always been the same for 14 years. Look, there's the original iPhone. There's the iPhone 3G. There's the iPhone 4 and 5. And next, the iPhone 6. And there's a 6 Plus, the SE. They may change the name, but the shape is still the same. Shall I keep going? Yes! 7 and 7 Plus, 8 and 8 Plus, iPhone 10, iPhone 11, and last but not least, the iPhone 12. And there's one similarity throughout all the phones, and you probably guessed it by now. They're all boring. So we see so many boxes every day. They're just another one that sits in your pocket and is just another box. It gives people a different look from their phones than they've had all their life. And yes, I know, the folding phones are still technically a box, but the box folds. So I saved you the trouble. You don't need to let me know in the comments section. One feature that is cool. If you saw someone with the Xiaomi Mi Mix Alpha phone, which is the phone with the full wraparound display, you would say, wow! Just like if you saw someone practically bend the laws of physics in front of your very own eyes. That is for now, until this technology becomes mainstream. That being said, while some consumers care about the little bells and whistles, or the little pointless gimmicks that make the phones what they call cool, I really don't care. And that could be one deciding factor in the success of the phone. How many people really care about the extras in the phone? And finally, the last benefit I could think of to the success of the new technology is how fast it is to use your phone. With the Galaxy Z Fold, there's an entire outer display that allows you to check your notifications and the time, or send a quick message without even opening your phone. It's the size of a full-size smartphone screen. If you want to get real work on your phone, you flip it open. With this being how it works, you can have your phone on the small screen for taking a call or sending a message really quickly, and when you're ready to play games or multitask, just flip it open and have fun. This comes back to the productivity and multitasking thing. There are only 24 hours in a day, and I think these tech companies are trying to allow us to use our time as good as possible. This isn't actually a problem for other phones, but with the foldable, if you just want to check the time, you'd have to fold it open and see it, then fold it close, which is actually a little slow. That being said, it allows you to have your massive screen, but also no annoying quirks, which is an advantage over the other phones. That's all the advantages I can think of. Now, what about the disadvantages? If you're getting a folding phone, you're going to be getting a weak phone. In fact, according to Jerry Rig Everything, the hinge is actually not the weak point. It's actually one of the stronger points in the phone. Trying to bend it backwards doesn't make it snap in half like our lost friend, the iPad Pro. It's actually very strong. I'm referring to the day-to-day problems the phone goes through. The screen is plastic because glass doesn't bend in half, so you literally leave a very deep mark in the screen from your fingernail. Not to mention the horrible things in your wallet, like coins and keys, and if you're Jerry Rig Everything, a razor blade. That will destroy the whole outer display if it hits it the wrong way. This can make your phone look really ugly and beat up like an abandoned dog on the street left to die in an alleyway. Well, maybe not that bad, but nevertheless, it will look bad. The screen also breaks super easy, thanks to the findings of Marcus Brownlee. You're losing dust resistance, so make sure you vacuum your wallet out, which means make sure you don't take your phone into a desert. This phone is thick, with at least 20 Cs, but it's big. It's safe to say you might want to get some new pants with bigger pockets, especially girls out there with already too small pockets. Not only are they very thick in width and length, but they're also tall. It's not even close to as tall as that weird iPhone 5 Tall Edition concept that went viral a few years back, but it really is a tall phone. If you have small pockets, time to get some bigger pants. The price. Compare price to performance with a normal phone. The Galaxy Z Flip had S10 specs when the S20 was out. It cost the same as the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. The 20 series of phones was about 30% faster than the 10 lineup. The foldable feature is worth about $400 for Samsung. And with you spending that extra money, you're getting a plastic screen, lower-end cameras, worse performance, and a lot more compromises. Unless you're rich, don't get these phones. For now. Just like anything in tech, the first generation is really rocky and has a ton of issues. Then they see those issues and fix them in the second generation. And by then, there's more tech advancements and other competition in this space. Then the third generation, a price drop. The price gets lower and lower after that, making it actually affordable. Additionally, along the way, even more features are added with the price being lower. New features are added along the way to make the experiences even better. So would I recommend you go out and buy a folding phone right now? No. But in a few years, maybe. I have no way of seeing the future, so I have no idea what will go down in the coming years. But I'm going to give you guys a guess. Today, folding phones are for the richest of the rich. The kind of person who hears $1,500 and pulls the money out of their pockets in straight, fresh $100 bills. In about 3 years, maybe less, I think the price will trickle down a bit. Then it will still be a high-end type phone, but more affordable. Then, some sort of company we've never heard of before will undercut all of them with a low-price folding phone. We saw this with the Poco phone being $120, making an entirely new category of smartphones. So after the undercut, based on what we've seen in the past, the bigger companies will follow suit very quickly. In the case of the Poco phone, Apple made the 2020 iPhone SE, and other companies also followed. By about 5 years, most mid-range phones will be foldable. I think that in the low-end market, we're still going to be seeing the standard phone we're all used to right now for a very long time, but I'm not sure. It could be 5 years to the price drop, maybe 10. Or maybe they just stop with folding phones altogether. There's so much up in the air at this point. However, I was making this prediction, that way we can look back at it in 3 years and see how accurate it was. So we're gonna have to stay tuned for the next few years and see what happens. Whatever happens, I'll be sure to cover it. If you enjoyed this extra long video on tech theory, please make sure that like button turns blue by hitting it with an uppercut in the jaw. If you have your own theory on what will happen or think I'm wrong about something, tell me down below in the comments section. Anyway, catch you in the next one. Bye.